Happy February, people. Happy February, man. You know what you should do today, you know what I mean? If you haven't thought about it, go in your drawer, go in the back of your drawer, your sweater drawer. Find an old favorite sweater of yours that you haven't worn in a while, man. Put that bad boy on, man. Forgotten Sweater Appreciation Day, man. Dig it, man. He's like, Papa G was right, man. I love you, sweater. Anyway, let's talk about guitars, man. Happy February to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to our Eastern Bloc counterparts, man. Back to the good USSR, man. You remember the Ural 650? This belonged to President Putin. Well, I was at the flea market the other day, man, and I saw this fella. He always gets Russian stuff, man. There's a Russian neighborhood where I guess he picks trash. He told me. Anyway, man. So I got this for $30, man. It's a Russian 7-string guitar, man. You believe that, man? $30, man. I got the case. It might be a real case, the original case too, man. I've never even seen a case for one of these before. Now this isn't like, you know what I mean, your turn of the mill, you know what I mean, talking to nobody kind of guitars. This is made by the Chernigov Musical Instrument Workshop in the Chernigov region of the Ukraine, man. Probably around 1968, the lettering in there, man. It's got this free-spirited, you know what I mean, mid-60s font that I can attribute to around about White Album era, man. Right around back in USSR, man. And the cool thing about the Chernigov Workshop, man, was that all their guitars were unique. They're all made by craftsmen who signed their instruments, man. It wasn't just like an assembly line like the Ural 650, my friend. Hey, man, I know all about Chernigov, man. I became such a friend of Chernigov that I decided I needed a girlfriend. And then I wasn't Chernigov so much. And then I got married to her, and now I'm Chernigov all the time. Hey, Chernigov. So, I'm going to put this guy in a slab, man. It doesn't need too much work, man. I know February's a short month, so I'm going to try to keep the episodes this month real short, man. I got something special coming up for you all next month, man. I can't tell you yet, man. Many months in the making, but you're going to dig it. So, anyway, man, short one needs a little bit of work. We'll put it down a slab. We'll look at it. I'll show you the case, man. We'll do this together, man. Bring this short month to a short meeting. Peace. I'll flip you around. There it is, people. Case is all fucked up, man. It's got an old moving and storage label from out in California, out in Monterey. The label itself looks like it's from the 60s, man. You know what I mean? They might have printed up a million of these labels out and used them well into the 70s, 80s. Who knows, man? I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? It's been out to the left coast at one point. That's all we know. Guitar itself is in beautiful condition. You know what I'm saying? The label. Gorgeous. That says in Cyrillic Russian, man. It says Chernigov Musical Instrument Workshop, man. And it's got some kind of serial number, shop code. That scribble is actually the workman's signature. You know what I mean? The artist, you know what I mean, master. A little bit down the body, you can see like a number. It's like a half-half serial number. It's got this nice little marquetry. A couple little cracks running through it that we'll just pump some glue into. You know. Got an adjustable neck, you know what I'm saying? It's got the lacquer neck, which was popular in, you know what I mean, Europe since the dawn of the guitar. It's got it's kind of like a violin style, you know what I mean, fingerboard extension over the body, you know what I'm saying? That's cool, man. The guitar is actually in much better condition than the case, man. This case is kind of fucked up, man. It's already like worn through to here. Got some sets of strings in it. Some of them are, you know, steel strings, and some of them are nylon strings. There's a set of Labellas nylon strings from the beginning of the nylon string days, man. It's probably from like the early 60s. Here's a set of French strings, nylon strings, probably from, I don't know, 50, 60, something like that. This Gibson string here is here's an E string, man. Steel E string, man, from the 50s, man. You can actually sell these. some money for it, man. That's for a case candy. I don't know what this is, man. It's a little piece of cardboard. Great. So we're gonna fix this guy up, man. You know what I mean? Not much to do on the guitar, not much to do on the case, man. We're gonna actually put a little glue on that. See how the pocket is missing its little side, man. We're gonna just glue this guy back in there. Make it nice for the people, everybody. We like to be nice for the people. So, right before we start pumping glue onto this guy, clamping him up, I'm gonna show you some pictures, man. Let's go to the Jerking Off family album, man. These are all the other jerking off people. See you in a moment. Alright, people. I'm gonna get your education on just quickly. You know what I'm saying? Just quickly. February, you know, short month, short attention span. The Jerking Off Musical Workshop was founded in like the late 20s. Now, there's a number that's floating around the internet saying that it was established in 1933. You know what I'm saying? But this guitar was built in the Chernigov musical, workshop in 1927. You can tell it's Chernigov. I mean, look at this little, bit of marquetry here. So I have no doubt that this is definitely, this is dated 1927. This is definitely made there. It is, all hallmarks, a 7-string, Chernigov guitar. 1933, maybe they built another factory. I'm not too sure. They made initially guitars, the mandolins, Belelakas. Here's a label here. I'm gonna zoom in, man. I got some courtesy for you people, man. Got some courtesy, man. Zoom in there, man. This label here dates from like, I don't know, actually from a 6-string. Probably I'd say early 40s, something like that. And the text of this, Cyrillic label, the exact same text as the label on our guitar. Not as hippie, you know what I mean? But just as dippy, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We're establishing ourselves, man. Now, all these guitars are different, man. I've never seen Chernigov guitars, you know what I mean, two alike. Never. You know what I mean? I look at guitars all the time. Looked at a lot of guitars for this particular, episode, trying to find one that's similar. Here's one that was dated 1940, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? It's a 7-string. And it's also got that exact marquetry that ours has. I'm not saying much from 1940, but it's got a lot of hallmarks. You see how this bridge is like that, and you see, I should get my little Genie stick. Anyway, so, you know what I'm saying? It's very similar to our guitar. Again, this is a 7-string. Anyhow, you know what I mean? Find one that's exact. It's not going to happen. Here's another one making Jerking Off, probably, I don't know, 60s. They all do have this sort of, I don't know if you can see this here. It's got that little adjustable, that little screw, man. Let me see if I can zoom in, man. This is from my Etsy, something like that. This is actually like a real camera from like somebody taking a picture of this shit from Ukraine. My camera not very good, but see, they all have that sort of, you know what I'm saying? Most of them do. So they all follow like an ideal, but they don't follow a pattern, man. Which I like that, man. I like that, man. That makes me happy. And this guitar is the one that closestly resembles the one that I got, only because it's got the same label, really. You know what I mean? But it's got a different sort of, bridge. It's got a slightly different, you know what I'm saying, fretboard. Doesn't have the raised sort of the violin thing, but like I said, people, it's got the exact same label. Let me zoom in on that label, man, because I want you to see, man. You know what I'm saying? So, same exact label as ours. You know what I'm saying? No big whoop. No big whoop. So, this interesting looking instrument right here is called a bandura. Now, when people say Chernigov musical, instrument factory, musical workshop, this is the instrument really that comes to mind. Because in the early 50s, there was a band of bandura makers in Kiev, actually. And the communists didn't really like the musical instrument makers during the early years of the Cold War. You know what I'm saying? So they chased them around, trying to, consolidate them, get them out of business, whatever they could do. You should be making guns. You shouldn't be making guitars, assholes. So essentially, this little, band of bandura craftsmen. A bandura is kind of like a Russian sitar. Only all the strings extend over the, the sound box. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a harp guitar, again, with all the strings extending over the sound box. So they became very, very sort of sought after in the 1950s. People were paying like 3-4 grand for them. You know what I'm saying? Even back then. And these, band of, bandura makers all sort of went to work for Chernigov, man. They all started working there. I think it was 1951, I believe was the year. Roundabouts. By like 1953, they were making like 200 or 300 banduras a week there. But each one of those were different too. You can't find two that are like. Nowadays, you can get a bandura made by Chernigov on the internet, $600-700. Roundabout, you know what I mean? Prices have gone down. Demand went down. You know what I mean? It's not what it was, folks. So speaking of which, this is a picture from around about 1972, right around 68. You know what I mean? They were giving the mandate, hey man, no one's buying these banduras, man. We're starting to do a little exporting here, man. Make something that we can export. So they started making electric guitars, man. And that was pretty much the end of Chernigov, man. These guys had to go back to Chernigov after 1976, because that's when, you know what I mean? That's when they were given their walking papers, and pretty much things, you know what I mean, dried down to nothing, really. You know what I'm saying? They started making pianos a little bit, they made, this, that, and other thing. But, the end of the 1980s, man, at the end of the Soviet Union, they were making caskets for some Italian company. That's what they were doing, man, all these skilled woodworkers. I think there's 1 or 2 bandura makers left in the whole province of Ukraine, man. So, the electric guitar, man, after, after it all is said and done, might have destroyed the Chernigov Musical Instrument Factory. The building is now an auto garage, man. You know what I mean? It's like sort of like a lube it all. You know what I'm saying, man? It's a quickie lube, man. So, that's it, man. You know what I mean? That's all you really need to know about it, man. Now you can go back to jerking off, man. So let's get back to our little program in progress right now, man. Peace be with you. No jerking off, man. No jerking off. You jerking off? In the workshop, man. We got to take it apart. I was looking at it. I see there's actually a crack here I want to get at. You see that? So I want to take the neck off. You know what I mean? I got this drum key. Drum key fits right onto the little thing there. I'll be able to take this neck right off. Hopefully I'll be able to put it on. Look at these tuners, man. Just great little details, man. Great little details, man. 7-string tuners, man. The Russians actually have a tuning that's like, when you strum it, it's like an open tuning. It's a G. But I'm just going to tune it like Western notes. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel for Bobby G, man. I'm too old to learn so many new things. Alright, so let's get this neck off and start, you know what I mean, clamp this down and fix this guy over here. Came off without a hitch, just a little bolt in full. See, there's a little Chernihif stamp here in the neck pocket. Let's take a better look at that crack here. Doesn't look like it's going to be that hard at all. But, you know what I mean? Shore this guy up. A little bit of glue, man. Very lightweight, the body, man. It's a beautiful little instrument. So, let's take some Titebond, pump it into these cracks, get the little suction ball, and get it real nice. We'll do this one first, and then we'll clamp this guy. So I'll show you when we got this guy done. So this is how we sort of worked out these 2 cracks, man. You know what I mean? We have a little piece of like a popsicle stick underneath here to keep that up. And we got a clamp to the table. You know what I'm saying? A big clamp to the table. And a heavy box of, you know what I mean, taps. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that it's like level. You know what I mean? There might be little gaps or whatever. But you want to make sure that one isn't higher than the other or lower than the other. And you can usually get that. So let's unclamp this guy from its little clampertario. And let's put some glue back here, man. Get it all seeped in. And then we'll take this big horse and we'll clamp it. I'll show you, man. Because I'm a showing kind of guy, man. I like to share. Sue me, man. Sue me, man. So we got glue, you know what I mean, coming out there. We'll just leave it, man. We're to let it, you know what I'm saying. Generally, I like to put the clamp inside the guitar, but this guitar was just so small. I don't want to crack this Bruce top, man. It's so nice. This is something you got to be, exercise extreme caution with using these barbaric sort of things on these historic, you know what I mean, brittle guitars. I'll show you this though, man. See that, man? See that steel string on that, you know what I mean, that little guy? That's the reason we have to fucking do this, man. Don't fucking ever put steel strings on a classical guitar, man. It'll pull that bridge right off, people. So we're going to let this sit overnight. Why? Because that's what I say to do. Peace. Alright, so I pretty much kept it clamped. About 8-9 hours yesterday. Right before I went to bed, I unclamped it and I put it up on its, you know what I mean? Up on its neck like this, man. And I ran some watered down tight bond down this little seam one more time, man. Because there was a tiny little deficit there, man. A little bit of, the wood's warped so much. So, I mean, other than that, man, this is, structurally 1000% now. So we are in the clear, my friend. We are in clear. Also, at every opportunity I could yesterday, I took more, beads of tight bond, watered down tight bond and all these cracks, man. And I used this little suction cup. This is the alien butt plug, man. I'll put this onto the ground and I just have a good time. But you put the, tight bond here and just get this wet and just right in there, man. It's an old violin, luthier trick, man. You know what I'm saying? Not that they have one of those alien butt plugs, man. I got that at the Claire's in the mall, man, years ago. Some kind of cell phone thing, man. I have no idea what the real purpose of it is, man. Anyway, man, so there's one more cosmetic trip I want to go on this guitar before I start, shining it up and putting it back together. Looks like somebody, during the sojourn of this guitar's life, was painting their apartment or their room or something like that, man, and got fucking white paint all over this guitar. You know what I'm saying? There, and it's all over here. I can just imagine the telephone call between the two guys, man. Hello, Putin, is your friend Ivan. Oh, hello, Ivan, comrade. How are you, my friend? Are you busy today? No, I'm just torturing a man. What are you up to? I need to paint my apartment, my friend. Oh, yes. Well, I was going bear hunting after I was done torturing, but I love to paint, my friend. I come to help you immediately. Okay. Let me ask you one question, Ivan. Yes, Putin. Do you still have that 7-string guitar? Of course I do, comrade. Oh, very good. I'm going to bring over a bottle of Stolinach, and we're going to get fucked up after we done painting. Okay, my comrade. See you in a minute. Okay, let me finish my torturing. Okay, I'm all done. I'll be over in 10 minutes. So, anyway, man, Putin, you know what I'm saying? He got out the fucking schnapps, man, and he got fucking paint all over Ivan's guitar. So I'm going to do my comrade Ivan a solid here and clean that shit off. How am I going to do that, you ask? I'm going to do it very carefully. It's even here, man. It's very, very hard to get this, stuff off the fretboard because this paint is very easy to go through. This Russian paint they put on these fretboards, man. I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol, a little magic erase sponge, you know what I mean, my fingernail, you know what I mean. Just very carefully work all this paint off of here, man, you know what I'm saying. Be very, very careful, people, man. Don't fuck up Ivan's guitar more. There's plenty more bullet in head where that came from. And we're back in record time. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. He's so gorgeous. You can't even tell there was ever any paint on there. Look at the front, man. Off the fretboard without even a fret, man. Look at that, man. God, man. Bobby G, man, he's an expert. Don't try it if you're faint of heart, man. But it's gonna take the paint off, the alcohol, you know what I mean, and the magic erase sponge. Something about it, man. Take any kind of paint off of there, man. You know what I'm saying? Now it's gonna get the lacquer a little hot, and it's gonna get a little bit fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Where you take it off, you just want to apply a little bit of polishing compound. Poland, another communist black country. I mean, polish that out, man. You know what I'm saying? Get it all kielbasa, man. Get it on an even keel. So, now, what do we gotta do, man? This neck, these frets, look like it was made by juveniles, man. By imbeciles, man. Some of them are way, way out of line. Hey, you're way out of line, okay? You're way out of line. Alright? You're coming apart. You know what I'm saying? You're way, way out of line. Alright? You better check your tone. You know what I'm saying? You're coming apart. You're hurting me. You're scraping against me. I don't like it. Alright? You, right there, jerkweed, you're way out of line. Alright? And so's your cousin over here. Alright? You're coming up at the seams. This whole company's way out of line. Look at this. Look at this. You call that sponsorship? You call that finesse? I call that tetanus. That's fucking horrible. Horrible. You should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Clean it up. I want to see your neck looking spotless next time we meet. You know what that says? Get your Sharpie ready. Get your weed. We did an excellent fret job, man. They're gorgeous. Very, very careful, though. You know what I mean? Did not mar any additional paint. You know what I'm saying? Everything still looks great. We did a great round over here of the gorgeous round over type, man. It feels like never before, man. All the frets are totally perfect, man. Let's put some butcher's wax on the actual fretboard, man. Wipe it off, put some butcher's wax, man. I'll see you when that's done. We got that neck all butcher's wax, man. Like a butcher, man. Like a bowling alley, man. Well, not like a bowling alley, but you know what I'm saying, people. So I went over the body with some water and a rag, you know, just got all the rest of that glue residue off, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get a little bit of residue, man. There was some res everywhere, man. We got res everywhere, bruh. So now let's just coat, you know what I mean, the body with some Mom's, man. Good old Mom's California gold. You know what I mean? All over here on the back, man. The back of the neck. Headstock, you know what I'm saying? Just not on the fretboard itself, man. Alright, focals and jokels, so I'll see you after we're all greased up, man. Waxed up, greased up, waxed up, greased up. Take care of yourself. Look at yourself. I was just doing the wax job and I noticed right here a little bit of give. See that? On this little tiny piece where the binding goes in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to run a clamp. I'm going to put a little glue in there. A little tad brown. Let's put a clamp on there. You know what I mean? 5-6 hours. I mean, no rush, man. Don't rush, man. It's important to get it right. You know what I'm saying? You don't want this to get caught on like a jacket. This is right where, you know what I mean, your hand goes strumming. Caught it on a sleeve or a jacket or something like that. Rip that binding right off, man. See what I'm saying? This is where, see how they have the binding? So we're joined up. You know what I'm saying? There's aren't breaks. That's where the binding wraps around from the other side. You know, that's where the joint is, man. And I could potentially pull the whole fucking binding right off, man. Yeah, the workmanship was good, man, but the Soviet glue, not so very good, my friend. Let's put a little bit of glue on there and clamp this bitch. After I clamped it, there was still like a little deficit there, like a little gully. So I just filled it with some crazy glue, and I sprinkled some baking soda on here, man. And I took a furniture marker and I just went over it real quick and wiped off the furniture marker. You know what I mean? Just get rid of all the deficits. It's totally solid now. Man. Let's continue the wax job, man. Let's continue the wax job. Trolls gets 30 wax. Got them all. We got them all shiny, man. Shiny. You know what I'm saying, man? They look nice, man. They look excellent for the people. Excellent indeed for the people. You know what I'm saying? It's like a work of art, man. It's like a work of art, man. Shiny for the people. So let's put a little bolt back in there, man. Put this guy back together. See you in a flash, my Tuesday friends. Get done right now. Now listen. Can't wait to play this fucking song. I got a set of low tension strings here. I got a whole bunch of these actually. For my finger in China. And I have a set of in the drawer. I found a set of hard tensions, which are a little bit, you know, thicker, a little bit, tiny bit thicker there. So I pulled that E out of there. We're going to use that as the low B. Low B, low B, low. String this fucker up, man. That's my instinct. The last thing I want to do before we do the glam shots is give a little bit of love to this case, man. Real easy, man. Real easy. Got my glue gun, right? So easy. I'll do it while I talk to you about doing it, right? So we just put a little bit of hot glue on this bad boy. Yeah, get him all glued out, man. All glued out, man. See that? You see that? Yeah. Closes the case. Uncasing. See that? A little bit of love, man. It'll last at least another 5-10 minutes. See you at the glamour shots, people. This President Putin again. I can't tell you how disappointed I was that Bobby G blew me off when I invited him to come to Russia and bring my Ural 650. He never called, he didn't come. I had a bottle of cognac that belonged to Catherine the Great with his name on it that we would drink together. Now I have found out through my sources, former KGB friends, that Bobby G has recovered the guitar of my dear friend Ivan, who I have not seen in many years when he disappeared in special Soviet mission to Siberia. Anyhow, this guitar very important because I painted my friend's house that day, and then it was the very first time that my friend Ivan decided to kill a man just for sport. He was so excited that when we got back, we played all kinds of instruments and jammed the fuck out. And then at the end of the night, he carved the date in place of his triumph on the back of the guitar. The date was September the 12th, 1978, in the great capital of Moscow. Yes, Bobby G, you have recovered something that is even more important to me than the Euro 650. Memories of my dear friend who met a tragic end that could have possibly been prevented should I have actually stopped mission to Siberia. It makes me very sad to think that you harbored this guitar without even telling me or coming to hang out with me so we could be together. Let's hear this fucking thing. Look after yourself. Peace be unto you. Look after yourself, motherfucker. And there it is, folks. The Chernigov 7-string guitar from the Chernigov Musical Instrument Workshop. The Chernigov region of Ukraine, circa 1968. Now I saw some websites that said the transliteration is actually Chernihif. You know that's because there's some kind of, Ukrainian motherfucker that feels real self-conscious about being called Chernigov. You know what I'm saying, man? Real self-conscious, man. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's natural. It's natural, my man. Don't worry about Chernigov, man. I saw on Wikipedia that the real way to pronounce it is Chernigov. You know what I'm saying, man? It's not Chernihif. What's your beef, Chernihif? I followed the Moscow down to Gorky Park, listening to the wind of change. August in the night, soldiers walking by, listening to the wind of change. Who are you? How'd you get in here? Are you Bobby G? No, my name is Todd McNulty. I'm from Cleveland, man. Who the fuck are you? Oh, yes. You give that guitar back right now or I don't know what you're talking about, man. Suffer the dire subsequences. Subsequences? Hey, man, they found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty!